All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is LA Mayor Reacts to ICE Raids. People don't know where they are safe. Guys, listen, so obviously we're coming up upon a gigantic push to raid a couple of companies and manufacturers and factories, let's say specifically in LA County, guys, right? And that's what's going on. Specifically, they're targeting ambience. And basically, it's a clothing manufacturer, and apparently, allegedly, we'll find out, I'm sure, that there are a couple of a good amount of people there that are working with like fake identifications, right? And because of that, the federal government wants to make sure that the people that are being hired specifically at this location and other locations around the country are in fact American citizens, because I do think that that's the way to go here. Why are we hiring people that are like acting without good faith, let's say? Why are we doing that? Like, how are you maintaining your EIN or tax ID like under a guise of you hiring Americans? I don't know. Let's go ahead and find out. Let's jump into it immediately, see where this takes us, guys. Let's do it.
We're watching breaking news as it unfolds. Widespread immigration raids here in LA. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Annabelle Sedano.
And I'm Michael Brownlee. Federal officials have detained multiple people at different locations at the center, a downtown Los Angeles clothing store and its headquarters just a few blocks away.
All right, so
we saw authorities taking several people into custody, crowds
HSI.
gathering in protests. The LAPD was called in for backup.
The U.S.
DEA.
Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Esley, was here on our set when these raids first started.
Traffic,
he spoke exclusively to us, saying other locations would be part of these raids. Here's what he had to say to our Conan Nolan.
All right, let's go.
There is a nationwide effort to enforce our immigration laws, and there's a step up in enforcement. This is part of that effort. The particular raids you're referencing, my office prepared search warrants for particular businesses where there is probable cause that they're using fictitious documents to employ people, and those warrants were signed by a federal judge, and they were executed on Friday.
Would you say that there's a lot of that taking place, not just in California, but I mean in terms of downtown, but in the farm fields of the Central Valley?
Well, unfortunately, these laws haven't really been enforced for a long time. The prior administration did not enforce these. We have filed just this year 500 felony cases for illegal reentry. The prior administration didn't really do that at all. So you're seeing a step up of enforcement across the federal government on a lot of areas and laws that just were ignored.
And we have live team coverage and expert analysis. We begin with NBC4's Lolita Lopez. She's live in downtown LA. Lolita.
Yeah, Annabelle, much quieter scene, much calmer scene out here. We're seeing the back of the store in question. That is Ambiance there, the clothing manufacturing store that was at the center of this operation when federal agents came in, led by the FBI, going through to look for what it appears to be undocumented workers that were working inside here. We want to show you video from earlier, about 2 o'clock or a little bit earlier than that. We saw units closing off this section of road when there was advocates out in the middle of the street protesting what was going on inside and chanting, telling folks not to sign anything, not to listen to anything. At the same time, we saw federal agents coming in full what appeared to be SWAT gear, heavy machinery, and then throwing what folks tell us was a tear gas. Take a listen to someone who was in the middle of that experience.
All right, let's do it.
Like a couple people that were just like crying profusely.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
Honestly, it was starting to get pretty aggressive, and people were pushing. They were pushing back. They're trying to open the gates right now, and I don't know. I guess they threw tear gas to open up the space.
And did it catch you?
Yeah, it caught a lot of us. There was kids, there's dogs, there's elderly people too.
Yeah.
Okay, then why are you there? Like, I understand, guys, I understand the concept of protesting, but no way should you be looking to stop like official orders, from the government. Let's say you're stopping their movement, bro. What are you expecting here? Like, what are you expecting here? Okay, like, I understand you want to protest on the street, bro, like on a sidewalk or something. But the minute you start specifically stopping them from being able to kind of work on their warrant, what are you expecting? Hugs and kisses?
And this all unfolded earlier this morning at about 11 this morning. We were here for several hours on the other side, which is Town Avenue.
It's LA. They probably do.
Front entrance. That is where
they probably were expecting hugs and kisses, bro. I'm going to be honest.
advocates were there too, banging on doors, trying to figure out what was happening inside, including the family of loved ones who say that their fathers were inside the building and had worked here for several years. Take a listen.
Okay.
I don't really know much. They just called us, letting us know that ICE was here, and I came, I saw him, but they haven't let me speak to him or nothing. I asked for a card, for their number, nothing. They haven't told me nothing.
He's in
Okay. Were they legal?
in prison, but let me tell you that he does more to the country, more taxpayer, more profit to the country.
Okay.
He has not committed
Yeah, local taxes, guys. Keep that in mind.
to the country, more taxpayer, more profit to the country. He has not committed a single crime compared to those felons that are out there still
Okay.
released by a bond.
Okay.
And this man, he has not committed a single thing. Still
Okay.
has given a lot to the country, and is still targeted for some reason.
Right. Was he legal? That's why he was targeted. If he was illegal, then that's why he was targeted. Okay. Like, I get it. You're saying all these things, but I mean, you can, like, if you're here for that long, you can absolutely, right, put the money that you're making illicitly, let's say, into a lawyer that would legitimately legitimize you. Just a thought here. I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't change the facts here, guys. Was he legal or illegal? But all right.
Very shocking scene for many people, not just those loved ones who did not know what was going on inside with their relatives, but also for business folks out here who have been doing business for many years, including with this particular business owner, and have said that they've never had any problems. They know the folks that work inside here. As we bring you back live, we're showing you the back entrance. This is where we saw vans moving through what appeared to be people inside and taking them to an undisclosed location. It's not clear where they were headed, but again, as you see behind me, everything is much calmer than it was just a couple of hours ago. We're live downtown. Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
All right, Lolita, thank you very much for that. And we just heard from LA Mayor Karen Bass. Here's what she had to say about today's events.
Let's go.
Reaction is outrage. Outrage that this has happened. Of course, what happened here, I think, was probably the worst. There were a number of locations where ICE raided today. And, you know, to me, when these things happen, it sows a sense of terror in the community. It's bad enough that it happened at this location, but the way this goes and spreads throughout the community, then people are not sure where they're safe.
I mean, you're safe anywhere. This is the United States of America. You're an American citizen. What are you actually afraid of? I'm thoroughly confused here. The community of who? Guys, let's just sit down, remove all the nonsense out of it immediately. The community of who? Legal American citizens? What are they worried about? What are you worried about? Nothing, guys. You're watching too much CNN or whatever MSNBC. You're watching too much of it, guys. Okay, you're watching way too much of it if you seriously believe that you are in any way in danger of anything. You are an American citizen. Relax, guys. All right. I don't see the threat or fear, to be honest here.
And spreads throughout the community, then people are not sure where they're safe.
Now, we saw the LAPD respond to at least one of these locations. The department told us another agency requested some backup.
That's right. NBC4's investigative
HSI,
reporter Eric
DEA,
Leonard is tracking that
LAPD.
from our News Operations Center. Eric.
Hi, Annabelle and Michael. Well, the LAPD has had a policy for decades that prohibits officers from playing any direct role in immigration enforcement. The rationale behind that is the LAPD says it relies on the people who live in LA, whether they're in the U.S. legally or they're unauthorized, to cooperate with local police investigations. And for that reason, the department steers clear of any kind of immigration enforcement. LAPD Chief McDonald sent out a statement a little while after all of this developed today to reinforce that. It says, since 1979, our policy has barred officers from initiating police action solely to determine a person's immigration status. The department remains focused on critical issues like crime reduction, enhancing public safety, and improving the quality of life for all Angelenos.
Yeah, that's not like brand new information. information. I think anyone that is like kind of dug into policies specifically in some of the larger cities, you start to realize that kind of tends to be the overall trend. It's the reason why why not California, why Chicago basically is not helping too much neither, right? I understand that that's not new information, guys. But the problem is that it got so out, like the protest got so out of hand and outrageous that the LAPD basically had to come and start arresting people. All right. Listen, remove your emotions from the scenario. I get it. You're protesting for something that you feel as if is unjust. You like the concept of illegality. I understand that. Right? Makes sense. But bro, the LAPD basically had to come and start arresting people.
But even far beyond that, the LAPD says that officers are prohibited from taking part in any other kind of investigative efforts alongside federal agencies or not that would be involved in direct immigration enforcement. The chief continues, I want everyone, including our immigrant community, to feel safe calling the police in their time of need and know that the LAPD will be there for you without regard to one's immigration status. The LAPD, again, saying it was called out there to provide some crowd control, which is something that has happened before when there have been federal law enforcement actions around Southern California. Anecdotally, the number of those federal actions that seem to be related to immigration enforcement have increased. Just this week, dozens of criminal prosecutions in LA federal court relating to people who are allegedly in the U.S. illegally as criminal prosecutions, something we haven't seen in many, many years. Back to you guys.
All right, Eric, thank you very much for that. And joining us now live is immigration attorney Alma Rosa Nieto. Alma Rosa, what should people know if a raid does happen at a place they work at? We know this is an ongoing immigration enforcement operation.
Yes, the first thing is that they do have rights regardless of status, pending cases or no case at all, no status at all, which is obviously to remain silent. Many people want to speak their way out of this, and unfortunately, when a counsel comes in, it's obviously sometimes harder to represent them because they've spoken and stated a lot of things that they shouldn't have. So that's the most important thing, and of course, record, take names, badges, and all in case there's anything that is irregular that can be brought up in court if they have a right to go to court.
You know, undocumented immigrants hear the word or term sanctuary city and they think they're safer than most. What would you tell them after what has unfolded here today?
Unfortunately, the word sounds very nice, sanctuary, and people think that that means that ICE cannot come in. It only means that the government, the city or the state cannot cooperate with ICE and turn people over. However, it doesn't mean that they are protected or shielded from an ICE raid like this one.
Alma Rosa Nieto, what happens next?
Well, hopefully some people have proof that they've been here for at least 2 years. That's the kind of key magic word. If they've been here less than 2 years, they're subject to expedited removal and can't see an immigration judge and will be sent out of the country expeditiously. But those that have been here more than 2 years, which my advice is always to carry documentation proving receipts and utility bills that you have been here 2 years or more, then they can request to see a judge and maybe be released on bond or on OR, means on own recognizance. And then they can be in freedom while they're pursuing a defense before an immigration judge.
You know, talk about the unintended consequences of what we're seeing here unfold today.
Well, terror, of course. It makes us that are legal in this country afraid for them. And I can only imagine the sentiments that families that are documented or citizens of the United States are feeling right now for their loved ones. So there's a sense of terror. There's a sense of, there's going to be a lot of backlash on this because people that are observing crimes are afraid now, going to be afraid to cooperate.
Observing crimes, and the audacity. All right. Okay. This is a lot. This is very California, right? This is a very California type of conversation. Everything just exudes it. I wonder if she would call the police if someone broke into her house and decided to basically start squatting there. I wonder if she would do that, because something tells me that she would, but in the same scenario, it's not the same. Why? I want to know. I want to know what is the moral, like, high ground, like, level, right? Like, what is the level that you've decided that one is an acceptable thing and one is completely unacceptable? I wonder. Is it because it's her property specifically? Is that why she feels as if it matters more? Does she not feel like the United States of America is not hers? What's going on here, guys? Right? Like, listen, not a single issue with the concept of immigration. I've immigrated to multiple countries, guys. In fact, no problems here. Like, at all. come to the country legally, guys. Right? I mean, I'm absolutely someone who likes the concept of law. I live my life by the letter of the law. Right? Nothing more. I don't have any interest in following any type of unlawful commands, directives, policies. You better hope your policy doesn't go against the U.S. Constitution. You have a problem. Okay? I'm telling you, I will not adhere to it. Your local nonsense policy. Either way, right? But the point is here, I just want to know, what is the line, do you think, with her? Is it just like some like moral high ground? Is it some like ideologue type of thing? Because everything in me says that if someone broke into her house while she was outside working or something like that, guys, all right, and decided to start squatting on her property, she would call the police immediately. I wonder. Because all it is trespassing on our southern border, guys. And we're going to go ahead and squat on your land type of thing. They've never paid a single dollar into any type of like, into any like meaningful federal tax, guys. No, local taxes, absolutely. Do the people that are here that break into our southern border, do these individuals absolutely pay taxes? Yeah, because everyone pays taxes. If they go to a store, they're going to pay local taxes. Okay, great. It's going to help your locale out. Is that the reason why you're a sanctuary city? Oh, no, just a thought. Listen, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.